Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Strength Coach Rants. I'm your host, Connor Lyons, and today we're going to be talking about the dangers of social media for you as an athlete.
It's all my head, now stuck in the void again.
So it's a strange world you guys are growing up in. It is very different from when I was growing up. It is very different from when the majority of your parents were growing up. Every single thing you do is going to be archived in some way, shape, or form. You go to a party and you do something stupid. Not only does everybody at the party know, but there's kids in California that are probably seeing something stupid that you did go viral. So it's no longer easy to do something stupid and have it not destroy your life. Now, the first part of this episode, we're going to talk about like doing dumb things and having it go online. And then the second part of this, we're going to talk about saying stupid things online that can absolutely destroy your ability to, collect a scholarship and continue playing the sport that you love. But first things first, you've got TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, which is for boomers now, from what I understand. Twitter, which is kind of making a little bit of a resurgence now since Musk bought it. You've got Instagram, and all of these kind of have their place for you as an athlete because you're trying to market yourself, right? You've got kids with these enormous social media followings that are, signing NIL deals for tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Social media can be a great thing for you in your career, but it can also destroy it before it even starts. So right now, for instance, we are in a time where if you are somebody who goes on Twitter, I notice this with Twitter more than anything else, it might just be because of who I follow, but Twitter is enormously political. That is 90% of what's on there. Right now, we are at a place where you are either like a terrorist and anti-Semitic, or you hate innocent women and children, with this whole thing going on with, the Gaza Strip and Israel. And everybody seems to have an opinion, and even people without high follower counts are just screaming into the ether, how they feel and what they think. Now, you as a young athlete, like let's say you're 15, 16, 17, personally, I do not think you should be on social media at all. If you're trying to grow social media so that you can, have some kind of NIL deal down the road, you should have somebody manage it. And I can give you some people who could do that for you. But you should not be saying things online because you're 15, 16, 17. The way you feel right now is not the way you're going to feel in 5 years. The way you feel right now may be popular. It may not be popular 10 years from now. And all of these things can have like a big detriment to your life. For instance, there's a lot of anti-Semitism right now surrounding the whole Israeli thing. It's an easy way out. If you remember, from 2016, poll on 4chan got really big, and people go on there and they troll, and a lot of that gets taken onto Twitter, and people feel like they're in a place because they're in somewhat of an echo chamber that they can say funny things and it will get them laughs and likes. And it's, those things will come back to bite you. We've got celebrities now. I mean, grown adults are getting quote unquote canceled over things that they said 10 years ago. If you think that you as an athlete are any different, it absolutely isn't. That means swearing online. That means saying like things that are borderline racist or anti-Semitic. That means, sadly in today's world, saying things that are quote unquote transphobic. Like, you have to mind your P's and Q's when you're on social media, and it needs to be something that is just for you to market yourself as an athlete. Maybe if you want to have like a Facebook or a Twitter handle where you ramble about, the goings on of the world that you have really no clue about right now, then make it private. That's the best way to do it. But we've had hockey players, this was like 2 years ago. He liked something, and somebody dug through and found what he liked. I think it was in relation to the whole George Floyd thing. And all of a sudden now, like, he totally lost the fan base. What is that team supposed to do, other than get rid of you to appease the fans who are paying all the bills? When you're young and dumb. So we had an instance last weekend, I believe it was, we had a JV hockey team at one of the newest rinks in the area absolutely destroy the locker room and put it on social media, right? So that team's no longer allowed to play in that building. So this, presents quite a predicament for the league itself, because now they have to shuffle everything around to make it so that these kids who were not involved can continue to play, even though they've been completely, what's the word I'm looking for, banned from the rink in question here. So doing stupid things is one thing. Doing stupid things and then posting them online is a total moron move. You're an athlete. You need to act like one. You need to be on your best behavior all the time because somebody is always watching. And somebody is absolutely watching your social media. And it's happened a ton of times where some kid said something stupid online, and the teams, may not even be digging through it. A lot of them do now. A lot of them, that is part of the process here. Just like getting a job, they're going to ask for your social media handles to go through all of the things that you say. When you go on to college, or when you're trying to get into college, you're trying to get recruited, you're going through the process, they will absolutely dig through every single thing that you've posted online in an effort to find a reason not to bring you in, because the last thing they want to do is give you a scholarship and then lose the favor of the fans because of something dumb you did when you were 15. So saying stupid things online, are those 15 to 100 likes worth the $100,000 worth of scholarship you're going to lose? Probably not. When it comes to doing stupid things, this isn't just social media, but understand that every single person in the world right now is walking around with a camera in their pocket. You can go to a party at 17, 18, right? Years over, you graduated, you're going to let loose a little bit. You get hammered, say or do something stupid. There are 15 people there with cameras, and that will be all over the place by the time you wake up in the morning, maybe not even realizing what you did, and you could lose out on a lot of things in life. There was who was it? One of Daniel Brier's kid. He was at a party, and this guy was in a wheelchair. He was going to the bathroom. He took his wheelchair and he pushed it down the stairs because he thought it would be funny. Somebody caught it on camera. All of a sudden, he gets dropped from his college team. He now has to transfer and play somewhere else if somebody else is willing to pick him up, because who the hell wants a guy like that on their team? Is understand, everything you do now is captured and archived. Doesn't matter if it's on Snapchat. Somebody's going to, download that video and have it forever. Young ladies doing things that are, less than above board when it comes to, the way you dress, the things you do. It doesn't seem fair, but it absolutely matters. If you sexualize yourself while you're in high school, it's going to be very hard for you to continue playing sports because people just don't want to deal with it. And I'll tell you what, as a business owner, I want people to be able to live their lives outside of this building the way that they see fit. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, I'm fairly libertarian. But if your antics outside of the gym were to affect the gym, I'm going to let you go. It's just the way it is. I want you to do and say the things that you want to do, and I want you to own them. But I'm not going to have somebody here that's taking away from what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do. And, pro teams, high school teams are no different. They don't want people involved who have, what's the word I'm looking for? Less than perfect backgrounds. And it really does come down to that. I'll give you a for instance here, and this doesn't involve social media, but I was working with an athlete when I was at a place called Athletic Edge. This was down in Lakewood Ranch. This was 2012, I believe. And I was working with a guy by the name of John Guy, and he was a former player, player development guy for the Bills. He was heavily involved in scouting, basically. And they were looking at a guy. I can't remember who the athlete was at the time, but this was a couple years prior. He was telling me the story. He tells this story to all the guys at the combine all the time. And let's actually sidebar here. When you go to the combine, we all see what's on TV, right? We see them running routes, we see them running the 40, we see the 225 bench test, the broad jumps, the verts, all of that. What you don't see is the hours and hours and hours of interviews, right? So these interviews, these teams are getting to know you. If they're going to dump a few $1 million into you, they're going to make sure that you're the right kind of person that they're going to have around for the long haul, and you're a person of good character, and they can find that out, via interviews. Not everybody's in interviews for hours, but a lot of guys sit there and they talk to every single team, not every single team, probably somewhere between like 5 and 15 teams, depending on who they are, who's interested in them, and all that. This athlete was a recovering alcoholic. He had gotten into some trouble while he was at Oklahoma State and had, some less than good, what's the word I'm looking for? Articles and like news coverage when it came to him and his antics. So he had gotten quote unquote sober, and he had told all these teams in these interviews, like, how, and the Bills, this guy was giving the interview, this John guy. And he was like, how has it been being sober? How have you been able to maintain that sobriety? It's tough in college. You're in a relatively like a smaller town. You're a big name. You matter a lot. Like, how do you maintain your sobriety? And the guy went on to talk about like how hard it is, and he's got to remove himself from situations and this, that, and the other. He doesn't party anymore, which was all kind of true. What this athlete didn't know is that the Bills and some other teams had sent some people to that town to go around to the bars and ask if they had seen that athlete, the bartenders there. Those are the people who are going to know because they see you every time you come in. As a recovering alcoholic, I can tell you just about every bartender from Bruce B. Downs all the way to US 41 knew who I was and had a Miller Lite on the counter before I even sat down. So these people, they know who you are, especially if you treat them well and you tip them right. And this guy was no different. Turns out he had been going to a bar that was just outside of town to maintain a low profile, and he was still drinking quite a bit. Now, he told this team that he was completely sober and he had stopped drinking, and what they found out, obviously, was that was not the case. They let him go on about how sobriety had changed his life and how happy he was and all those things, and when he was walking out, when John was walking out of the interview, he turned to him and he said, "Hey, completely forgot to tell you, I can't remember the girl's name, but let's say Jenny. Jenny says hi." And right then and there, he knew he was in trouble, right? And this was before social media. So the odds of him being able to get away with that today are slim to nil. Being an important football player in a small town at a big university, somebody's going to find out what you're doing. So you have to change the way that you act because social media has changed so much. And it's not just you putting your foot in your mouth and saying something stupid, right? Like a white kid dropping the N-bomb or, using homophobic slurs or whatever, right? All these things, when you hit enter or send, those things are forever. They go, people can archive them in the Wayback Machine. You can piss off the wrong person. All of a sudden, they will find a way to dig through every social media post you've ever made. And, you may lose out because of it. And I'll tell you as an adult right now, I'm 39 years old. I've been on social media now 14 or 15 years, I believe. Dude, when your memories pop up on Facebook, it's some of the cringiest things I used to say, it's not borderline. I mean, it is borderline embarrassing because nobody else is seeing it, but it is embarrassing to see the things that you say at certain times in your life that no longer matter. And you don't want to do that to yourself. Your views will change as a human being 1,000,000 times between now and the time that you're an adult. It is not that important to put, pen to paper or finger to keyboard to tell the world how you feel about something right now. You're better off holding that inside until your views change because they absolutely will. So, this is just a PSA to the athletes. Be smart. Don't do stupid things and really don't put the stupid things you do on social media. Sure, you go out and you get hammered and you do something dumb and you upload it to whatever social media, you frequent most often, probably the one where you get the most attention. And you're going to look back on that and you're going to just facepalm. Especially if it ends up costing you something down the road. Teams don't want to be associated with kids that are, drinking out in public, acting like a moron. And when I say out in public, I mean on social media because that is the town square. Everybody can see it. There are 1.3 billion users on Twitter alone, right? Not that everybody is watching what you do, but you upload something to Twitter and that is your audience. 1.3 billion people. That is like 1/6 maybe. The entirety of the world is on that app. So every time you do or say something stupid, somebody's going to know. And these teams will dig through and find things. And if they don't, someone you rubbed the wrong way, someone you're having an online argument, absolutely will. I'm telling you, it happens every day to grown adults. Don't think because you're a kid you're immune to it, because you're absolutely not. And you would be kicking yourself directly in the ass if you ended up losing a $100,000 scholarship because of something stupid you said or did when you were 14, 15, 16 years old. It is absolutely not worth it. So it's a relatively quick one to wrap this up. Like, if you're on social media, have it be to like promote you as an athlete, right? You can show like parts of your personality and things that you do throughout the day, but do not get political. It's not worth it. Do not, say and do stupid things. Don't upload videos or photos of you breaking the law or getting, drunk or high on the weekend, which is also breaking the law. It is absolutely not worth it. The attention that you get from uploading those is not worth the potential cost down the road. It really isn't. Be smart, be better. Don't do stupid things. Don't break the law. But if you break the law, don't be stupid enough to leave evidence for everyone to see. All right. Well, that's going to be it for today. It's very quick. All right. I just wanted to get that out there. Mark Lobliner did an episode, or not an episode. He just uploaded a video the other day about it, and I thought maybe I could reach some of the kids that are here. Or some of the kids parents who watch this. It is not worth risking everything because you have an opinion on something. It is not worth risking everything because you want to get a bunch of likes and you want the attention and the dopamine hits by uploading something stupid you did. And it's not just you, it's other people. Be aware that everyone around you has a phone. Every single person is a potential journalist right now. All it takes is one stupid thing. It gets uploaded, it goes viral, and your potential career is now damaged. And this doesn't matter if you're a D1 prospect, you got drafted in Major League Baseball, National Hockey League. Doesn't matter if you're playing major junior hockey. It doesn't matter if you're a Division III or a club athlete. Teams don't put up with this. They absolutely will not. And you'll be really sorry that you said or did something stupid and then wanted to get attention for it, or somebody else grabbed it and now you're viral. And it happens. I've seen it happen. I've witnessed it happen to kids I've worked with, and it is absolutely life-changing and horrible. So be better, be smarter. Don't do stupid things. Don't do illegal things. And if you do not put them online for the world to see. And that's going to be it for today. We'll see you next time. Everybody have a good week, and thanks for watching and listening.
It's all in my head, now stuck